You forged my signature and CC'd the entire neighborhood. The room went silent. Not quiet, dead silent. The kind where even breathing feels loud. Karen's smile froze mid-smirk, like her face forgot what expression it was supposed to hold. My hands weren't shaking. My voice wasn't loud. And somehow that made it worse for her. She had spent 20 straight minutes calling me irresponsible, dishonest, a problem homeowner. She waved printed violations like confetti, late fees, landscaping lies, noise complaints from dates I wasn't even home. Every sentence she spoke dripped with fake authority and real hatred. Then she made the mistake. She said, "We have email proof you admitted this." That's when I stood up, slow, calm, patient, and asked the board one simple question. Do you want to see the full email chain? If you love powerful stories, you don't want to miss this. But before we continue, tell us where you are watching from. It makes us happy to see how far our stories travel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Karen laughed, actually laughed. She leaned back like she had already won, like I was entertainment. So I mirrored my phone to the meeting TV and opened the folder labeled HOA, do not delete. The first email appeared, then the second, then the third, then the one she forgot to delete, where she told another board member he won't fight back. They never do. The room shifted, chairs creaked, someone whispered, "Oh my God," and Karen stopped smiling because we were only getting started. The boardroom didn't feel like Karen's kingdom anymore. It felt like a courtroom. I scrolled slowly, no rushing, no dramatics, just facts. The next email popped up, Karen complaining that I didn't fit the community image. Another email showed her suggesting selective enforcement. Translation: if she liked you, you got warnings. If she didn't, you got fines. One board member cleared his throat. Another wouldn't even look at her. Karen tried to recover. These are taken out of context. I zoomed in, highlighted, read it out loud, word for word. Then came the twist she never saw coming. I opened the attachments folder. Inside were timestamped screenshots of her deleting prior emails. And not just deleting, editing threads and resending them like they were original. Gasps. Real ones. Not polite HOA meeting gasps. Shock gasps. Karen stood up so fast her chair hit the wall. "This is illegal recording." I smiled. "Not big, just enough." "Actually, Karen, it's not recording. These are auto backups from the HOA shared server." The lawyer finally spoke. "Ma'am, did you alter official HOA communication records?" Her face lost color so fast it was almost artistic. Then her husband, who'd been silent the entire meeting, whispered, "Karen, what did you do?" Neighbors started murmuring. Someone laughed nervously. An older woman shook her head like she'd been waiting years for this moment, and that's when Karen realized this wasn't a meeting anymore. This was the beginning of her downfall. Karen tried to sit back down and missed the chair. Not dramatically, not movie style, just enough to shatter the illusion of control she'd worn like a crown for years. No one laughed out loud, but the silence was louder than laughter. I clicked to the next file. Subject line, emergency fine strategy. The room leaned forward collectively like gravity shifted toward the screen. Inside were spreadsheets, columns labeled with homeowner names, notes beside them. Mine read, push compliance pressure, increase fees gradually. But 2 lines below, another twist. A reimbursement request filed by Karen, charging the HOA for community beautification dinners, except the attached receipts were from luxury restaurants. Wine, spa services, weekend resort deposits. The treasurer whispered, "Those funds came from violation fees." I didn't say a word. I stepped back and let the truth breathe. Karen's voice cracked. "This is harassment." The lawyer adjusted his glasses. "No, ma'am, this is documentation." Then came the moment I didn't plan, but honestly, it was beautiful. Mrs. Alvarez, who Karen fined last year over a shade of curtain violation, slowly stood and said, "You made people afraid to live in their own homes." Karen started crying, not soft tears, messy, mascara running, shaking crying, power melting into consequence. And for the first time, the community looked at me not like a problem, but like someone who told the truth. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Karen didn't leave the room dramatically. She folded, slowly, quietly, like someone realizing the story they wrote about themselves was never true. The HOA president badge sat in front of her on the table. She stared at it like it belonged to a stranger. The lawyer spoke first, calm, careful, final. "Karen, effective immediately, you are suspended pending financial and legal review. No shouting, no chaos, just consequences." Her husband covered his face, not angry, not protective, just tired. Karen tried to speak. Nothing came out except a broken whisper. I was protecting the neighborhood, Mrs. Alvarez answered gently. No, you were controlling it. That line settled into the room like sunlight after a storm. Then, something unexpected happened. The board voted to freeze all violation fines until a full audit was completed. Neighbors started talking, not gossiping, talking, planning community cookouts again, kids playing, people smiling at each other without fear of letters taped to doors. And me, I packed my folder, turned off the screen, and for the first time walking out of that building, I felt light. Not because Karen lost, but because truth didn't. Outside, the evening air felt softer, warmer, like the neighborhood itself was breathing again. Behind me, through the glass doors, I saw Karen sitting alone at the table, staring at the empty chair beside her. Power is loud, but accountability, it's permanent. Please like, comment, and subscribe.